Um,
Happy Valentine's Day. We could.
Happy Valentine's Day to you. Did you get a card?
No. I got a sort of a kiss and a happy Valentine's Day, and and I had to get my own Valentine's earrings out. Do you see them? Can you see them? So I had to.
I can. I'm just checking. I think we might be live on Facebook. I'm just checking on my phone. We are live, Annabel. So good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Valentine's Day to each other, just in case the ladies missed this.
Yes.
So welcome to Meet the Artichoke Girls. This is Annabel. Annabel is the co-founder of Annabel and Grace. And before we move on to our homage to Vogue's 73 questions, Annabel, I'm just going to ask you to talk to me and the Artichoke Girls and tell us a bit about the fabulous online magazine that you and Grace run.
Well, thank you, Sarah, for that introduction. Yes, it's Annabel and Grace is an online magazine, and it has over 2,000 articles on it. As somebody pointed out to me recently, it's so much better than a magazine that you buy because your articles are there forever. So it's a sort of resource. You can research and find articles from 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago. Actually, we've been going for 11 years. I think we've just passed our 11-year marker. It's for women over 50, and it's that we have a lot of male followers too. So and it's basically, so we have actually a lot of women over 40 follow us too, probably because they want to know what it's going to be like being over 50. You and I. Fabulous, absolutely. Anyway, it covers a whole range of topics. Fashion, obviously, always the most popular. We have recipes, we have well-being, we focus on not just beauty and makeup, we also focus on health, and generally just things to make yourselves feel better. That's been very popular this last year, obviously. We have a psychotherapist, Leslie Ann Green, who writes for us regularly, giving you tips on how to make yourself feel uplifted, because it has been a year. I mean, you and I are here, we're very lucky, we've made it through, where, the vaccination is around the corner for us. But it's been an emotional roller coaster for everybody, hasn't it?
Definitely.
So everybody's needed that little bit of help, even if they thought they didn't, they did. So Leslie Ann writes for us. We then have a story section. This week is particularly good for stories. We've got a load of stories. A lady who lives in Ontario in Canada has written stories. Somebody else has written about how their life has changed, how the way they live has changed so dramatically. A great friend of Grace's who's picked up her paints or pencils again and started painting beautiful paintings. Mandy, she's written her story. So lots of stories. This week happens to have been a week of stories. Then we have reviews. We write book reviews. We have a book reviewer she calls herself the page turner, Jane Trotman. She writes for us. We try, and I also do a lot of book reviews, and we try and sort of do a cross section. I think of genres of books, that's why there are two of us, but I think the thing about our website is because people feel they get to know us, so hopefully by doing things like this with you, I recently did something with Look Fabulous Forever, Trisha Cusden, they feel therefore if we recommend something, then they will like it, because unfortunately when you pick up a magazine and somebody recommends an outfit, a face cream, a book or whatever, it's probably being written by somebody under the age of 35.
Yeah.
And so, would you take advice on skincare from somebody who's 20 something? No, of course, because they don't understand and appreciate mature skin. You are an icon for us because you understand that as you get older, your shape changes. You don't just get larger. You don't go from a 10 to a 12 to a 14. You might be a 14 on top and a 10 below. Or you just might, Grace and you have lovely long skinny legs. I don't, whereas the way I've got older is I've just got more of a sort of ironing board shape, just column, and I've just got, I've lost my waist. My boobs aren't so sort of, pert. And so I've sort of more, so, I've got to try and, with the help of clothes, either ignore that or try and find my waist or whatever. And I'm sure, everybody has their issue with the change. So that's what we try and do. We'll take a brand that we love, and then we'll say that just because it maybe is being modeled by 20 somethings or even, teenagers, beautiful, young, slim women, there are things within the range that work for older women. You've just got to be careful. But, it's like, it's a bit, isn't it? You walk into a shop and it's like, oh my goodness, there's too much. I can't work it out. When you're young, everything works on you, but, you've got to try and find a piece. So we hopefully take that work, we do that work for you and find the pieces within collections that work for an old woman. And I think, Artichoke, that's why we got to know you, become friends over this past 18 months. And because you're doing a very similar thing, aren't you? You're realizing that our age group aren't really catered for.
Definitely. We're not ready for shrouds yet, thank you.
No, exactly. And so, and that's what we do with every section of our magazine. We're trying to say, embrace your age, make the most of it. It's a great time to be older. Well, maybe not this last 12 months, though we've all been in the same boat. So it's it's a time where there's so much out there that we can do. I mean, we have backpacking granny rights for, she's 77 now, and up until the COVID, she was literally packing her backpack and going traveling with a girlfriend. Okay, so she can't climb Everest, but she can find a way of doing lots of other things, exciting new, visit parts of the world. You don't have to put your twin set and pearls on and your slippers and have an afternoon kit and think that,
Definitely.
and look at.
And that's why you do such an amazing job. That's why you're so brilliant. So where can the Artichoke girls find you?
Right, well, our website is www.annabelandgrace.com. When you go onto it, up in the top right hand corner, and a pop-up will also appear after a certain amount of time, there's a little subscribe box, and you subscribe. It's a free, I know subscribe to our generation means pay, but it isn't. It's a free newsletter. You'll get a short one on a Wednesday and the whole, all the new posts on a Saturday. So if you subscribe to that, then you won't miss any of the posts, any of the offers, competitions. We've just had a competition for a whole load of Temple Spa and Lumity, a sort of beauty package. We
love Temple Spa at Artichoke.
Oh, but there you are. You see, we've got a wonderful one from beautiful rug. I mean, like, worth over £400 rug from a company called Anne Larby or Anne Laby. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. From Australia, coming up very soon. We're doing, we're always doing lots of things. There are lots of exciting things going on. Chatting to you. So all of these things you'll get through the newsletter, which is sort of like, I mean, I'll send out a link to this recording in the newsletter so that people who've missed it can see it at a, or they're busy listening.
And we're going to do the same, actually. After this afternoon, we're going to send out a copy of the video to all the Artichoke girls. Lots are watching. Hello, everybody. I'm just looking at them now. If you want to ask Annabel a question, just wave. No, don't wave. Pop it down below, and then I'm going to keep looking sideways to see who's asking her a question.
Lovely.
As always, keep hitting that love button, because it helps the algorithms in Facebook land whilst we're doing this. And what I thought I would do with today's questions, Annabel, is they're going to reflect the different sections of your magazine. So we're going to start now. Now, Annabel and I have done this before, but we did it on Instagram, and because we're both technically challenged, couldn't actually work out how to get it to you, which is why about 9 months later, we're going to re-interview Annabel on Zoom so that we can do a Facebook Live, but she's getting different questions. She doesn't know what she's going to be asked.
Okay.
But I think by having a chat, led by these questions over the next half hour, you're going to find out a lot more about her and a lot more about Annabel and Grace. So we're going to kick off with the two she does know, because she's been asked before, because we ask everybody, and that is diamonds or pearls?
Pearls.
Pearls every time.
Yes. You've got pearls in your earring, haven't you? Earrings.
No, they're gold baubles.
Oh, are they? Oh, they
Yeah.
look like pearls.
No,
Well,
they're little gold baubles.
I'm wearing pearls, you see. I love pearls.
Yeah, and actually I love pearls too, but I love diamonds as well.
I love them too, but for every day it would be pearls. I don't think I could do the dog walk in diamonds.
Oh, I think I could. I've got to get them first. I'm married to a pig farm and they don't do diamonds.
Oh, okay. There you are.
I got a bull for Valentine's Day about 3 years ago.
Okay. Oh, that's unusual. Great.
Big knickers or small knickers?
Small knickers. Small knickers.
Small knickers.
Yeah, I am now more in small knickers. Actually, really, a body.
Okay.
Grace and I are both mad on Marks and Spencer's bodies, all in ones, you know, poppers underneath, and you get used to doing the poppers up. Let me tell you, they keep you. I think they're better than knickers because they keep everything in place. Yeah.
Because we used to wear bodies in the 80s, didn't we?
Yes.
They disappeared. I didn't realise they were back again.
Oh, Marks and Spencer's do a fabulous range. We're always writing about them because we love them. Yeah. Yeah, so
right, ladies, when this finishes, I'm going over to Annabel and Grace to read about the bodies, and so should you. Are they long enough in the body?
Yeah, and there'll be like
tall,
two popper things, you know.
Oh, okay.
I can't really describe it, but yeah, and you can even wear a bra underneath them. Some are much more supportive, but I think probably by our age, everyone needs a bra as well. So you can wear a bra underneath it, and they do thinner ones and thicker ones and all sorts. Yeah, they're really good. Okay.
And you see, Donna lives in bodies, but because she's so tiny, I've never been able to find one that I could hoof underneath. But I am going to revisit bodies because I love them in the 80s. They keep you warm and they hoof you in, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Hoof you in.
Right, my darling. So when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing on your mind?
Is it my yoga class today? I do 3 a week, first thing in the morning with my yoga teacher on Zoom, on a yoga class. So probably that's first thing. Oh God, is it that morning where I've got to sort of be lively? But my first real thought is my dogs. Need to get up, look after them, let them out, and all the rest of it. Yeah. So
how many dogs do you have?
2.
2, yes.
2 gorgeous. One is an Australian double doodle. Don't ask me to explain why he's a double doodle. It means he's the son of a doodle and a doodle. So he's not like a Labrador and a poodle cross. He's beyond that. He's down. And in Australia, they breed them as sensory dogs. So they go into care homes and where people with autistic children, and because they love to be stroked and they're very calming. And then I've got a miniature Labradoodle, who is the dominant one. Even though he's a quarter of the size, he's the dominant. Yeah. He's got small man syndrome, sadly, you know.
Well, we have Ruby, who's Psycho Dog, who's tiny. She's a little sporting Lucas. And Blue, who's our very inefficient sheepdog, has never realised that if he just put his jaws around her neck, he'd kill her. So she bosses this dog that's so much bigger around.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she is dreadful, but she's lovely, but she's not very good with other dogs. How would you describe your home?
Contemporary.
Yes.
It's right on the on an island, or what you're actually an island and river is called an EYOT. And it is in the middle of the River Thames at Henley-on-Thames. Sometimes, like last week, the River Thames flows very close to the front door. It's subsided this week, so that's good. And we built it, well, it was a boathouse that we converted and added onto, and it's about 18, 19 years ago, and it's contemporary, it's open plan, contemporary, I would say. Yeah, and it's like, you walk across a footbridge, you park it just off the main road and in a courtyard, and then you walk across a footbridge, and I always say it's like going on holiday, because the moment you walk across that, you feel like you're in, you know, it's that moment you step into a holiday home, isn't it? So it's, yeah, so I permanently feel like I'm on holiday.
Well, it sounds lovely. So if we're into house porn, can we actually have a little look if we go through the Annabel and Grace posts? Can we find?
Yeah, you might find. Yeah. There are a few pictures of it. Yeah, I did a thing with Marks and Spencers where I, with a few homeware accessories, you could revamp your house. We had a situation where a few years ago it flooded very badly. Our whole garden was a lake. It didn't come in the house because we have flood guards, but the front door has a ramp up to it and it's above the water level. And I had the front door open, and I heard this pattering. And I sort of thought, that's odd. And I looked around the corner, and two swans had walked in.
Oh my God.
And it was that time when they're meant to be they're looking to build a nest. And obviously their normal place was completely flooded. And they obviously walked in, they were looking around going, yeah, we quite like this. This is nice and warm, you know, and dry. I think we might nest here. And my husband said, shh, they'll make an offer very soon. So yes, I put those pictures up. Yeah, so we do a bit of putting pictures up of our houses, but yeah, contemporary, I would say.
There you are, another reason, ladies, to go over to Annabel and Grace to have a little spy at her house. Remember, if you want to ask her any questions, just comment away and I can answer them, because I am managing to keep track of the phone as well. I am multitasking. Do you have a favourite room, Annabel?
Well, strangely, right now, yes, because we, for various reasons, our kids during this pandemic, one lot were trying to buy a house, were still trying to buy a house, so they got rid of their rental property in London and they moved home, and then other one was furloughed, etc. You know, the normal sort of story with with everyone and their children. And we had a shed in the garden that would have been the sort of the teenagers growing up, and drug, sex and rock and roll sort of went on in there, and I didn't want to know, never went in there. Anyway, we decided at the beginning of this pandemic to convert it into a guest cabin, and it looks out over the river. It's absolutely wonderful. And because of all the issues with our kids and everything, this Christmas in December, my husband and I decided to move into the riverside cabin and let our kids have the house, so that they were all in a bubble, we were in a separate bubble, and we used to sort of meet in the garden or whatever. And we now absolutely love it. I don't know if we want to really move back to the house. It gets the sun all day. It's like being on it feels like you're on a ship, because feels like you're right on the water. It's just, and it's a really positive space. So I think when all of this is over, I said to my husband, it will still be a guest cabin, but you know, for friends to come and stay. But in between, I think what I'll do is I'll use it as an office and go down there, because it's got a kitchenette and a bathroom and everything, and I'll use it as I don't know, there's something very uplifting about it. Just sound of water flowing that close to you, the sun, even on a winter's day. I mean, we've had lovely sunny days. So yeah, I think that would now at the moment be my favourite, yes.
You know, I've got a friend who lives in Whitby, and they've got a lovely cottage in the middle of the town, but they've also got a boat shed. She married a boat builder, Dave, and he's converted the shed. So it actually is still a boat shed. So they take the boat in the winter, but it's built a mezzanine over the top, so that I think they only moved back to their house 2 or 3 weeks ago. They spend most of their time down at this boat shed, and it's quite primitive. There's no running water, but it is absolutely idyllic.
I
It
bet.
is just fabulous.
Yeah. Something about water, isn't there?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Calming.
Yeah. Well, my dad was a boat builder, so I love the water and I desperately miss the rivers because we have drains here. We don't have proper rivers. Who is your favorite designer?
Oh, well, that's funny because you discovered the other day, didn't you, that I had worked for David and Elizabeth at Emmanuel back in the day in the 80s during, when they became very famous. So favorite, as a person, I absolutely, I adore Elizabeth Emmanuel. I mean, they've separated, sadly. I don't see David now, but I do see Elizabeth, and she's just a wonderful, she's so vibrant and fun and sort of zany and full of ideas, all the time ideas coming. So I love her because I know her on a personal level. But her clothes are, they're party clothes, they're, wedding and all that. So it's not sort of for me. So who do I love as a straight forward designer? I like classic. I think that M&M, I think, is a fantastic brand. Claire Hornby, the owner, founder, she's done a wonderful job of sort of that middle market, that more expensive but worth it, because I mean, I've got trousers from M&M that I've had for 7, 8, 9 years that I wear constantly. So maybe not this year because they're sort of smart. I've lived in leggings and tracksuits and jeans. Jeans is sort of dressing up, to be honest. But yeah, I love that sort of middle market. I'm not somebody that would go out and spend money on a big designer. For a big party we had, I had a Catherine Walker dress, which was really special. I loved Catherine Walker. Sadly, she died, and she was a favourite of the Princess of Wales too. And but her label has carried on, and her stuff is very beautiful. So I like sort of classic, tailored, probably. Yeah. So
you'll have to watch this space because we've just started working with the most amazing designer, because we're trying to move, as we've discussed briefly, more across to doing our own label stuff with this great chap we found out in Tunisia. And everything is responsibly sourced. He's building a new factory with, I think it's got grass and solar panels on the top. So, and she sent me some more ideas last week, so that you must watch this space. And everybody who's following us here, we've got our collar inserts coming in this week, and we've got some new oversized shirts coming in about 3 or 4 weeks. But once we've got the essentials sorted out, she has designed some beautiful pieces. So hopefully you and Grace will model them for us.
That's like, we love doing that. Collar inserts, I think, are going to be huge. I think they're just the most wonderful invention, aren't they? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Because I hate ironing. Grace loves ironing, but I actually hate it. So just to have the collar and a sort of thing under a sort of pretty sweater or whatever, it's perfect, isn't it?
Well, as soon as we get them, we'll pop some in the post to you, so you can have a little look at them.
Lovely.
So, Annabel, what is your desert island skincare item? And I'm asking you this because I know that Annabel and Grace, you test a lot of skincare. So what would be your one item that you would take to a desert island?
Okay, so a bit tricky, because the item that I'd really like to take, which wouldn't work on a desert island because it needs power, is the newer NEWA. It's a machine that that you put some gel on and it warms up, and you do this sort. At first, you do it about 3 or 4 times a week, and then it goes down to twice a week, and it stimulates and it lifts and everything. And since I've been using that, we have a lady called the skin specialist. She's called Jade Sheldon. She's actually in Norfolk, very close to you. Don't ask me the name of the village.
Actually, I think she's at Wormigee, isn't she?
Yes, that's it.
Yes, somebody else has told me about her.
She is. I wished I lived in Norfolk for many reasons, but one of them would be to be close to all of you, because I could live in between you and her. She is the most incredible. I went there with a girlfriend, and the two of us came out with just so many ideas, and you know, she'd given us a facial, and our face did look amazing. I'd love to go to her regularly. But Jade Sheldon, the skin specialist, she told me to get this. She did an offer on it, this newer machine, and I've been using it religiously. And I can promise you that these bits, they still, you know, bit jowly, but they were literally horrible.
Oh my God!
My neck here, fantastic, and all around here, it just basically it lifts. You know, it's not going to get rid of every wrinkle, of course not. And it does take about 20 minutes twice a week, but I think it's worth it. So that is a machine. In terms of actual, if I'm on a desert island, I'd have to take something with SPF, because the skin specialist, she tells me all the time, you've got to wear SPF all the time, even if you're behind glass, and because you can still get the damage from the rays. So Helio Care, I love their products. And again, she put me onto them. And that is tinted, it's like a tinted moisturizer really, but it's got SPF in it, and in the summer that's all I need to wear, really. You know, it's in the winter you need a bit more sort of color, and don't you, sort of blush and lipstick and all the rest of it. But yeah,
so your jowly thing, can you pop a link below
where? Here? Oh,
where afterwards, can you just pop a link on this, because I'm definitely interested. I think Donna's being quite vulgar at the moment, but she needs to get her cat of her jowls sorted as well. I think that's an alternative method. Yeah, no, I think it's a proper one.
So on my desert island, I will need electricity, so I can put it in, okay? Okay, so it's my sort of.
You're allowed to have electricity on your desert island.
Oh, I know. Okay, so I don't know what I do. I use a range. Also, I use a range of skincare at the moment, which I'm loving, called Typology, which is French. They're still managing to get them through to UK buyers. So that's good. Oh, I tell you, a wonderful thing that I'm using called U Beauty. It's from a range called U Beauty, and they did a skin resurfacing compound, which I tested, which was fabulous. It is expensive. Then they introduced a moisturizer, really nice moisturizer. But I think right now I'm testing, and I think this is the pièce de résistance. It is an arm cream. So for, you know, those bits here.
Oh, yes.
I broke my arm a few years ago and was amazed at how quickly I broke my shoulder in 2 places, and amazed how quickly your arm just goes to looks like a 90-year-old's. And this stuff, you just massage in twice a day. And the pictures on their website of the before and afters, well, you'll soon see mine, because really it is making a difference. But it's expensive. That's the one, I suppose. You know, anything good tends to be expensive, doesn't it? But U Beauty, check that out, because that is, she only does these 3 products, and in America her range has gone berserk. Unbelievable. But you can buy it over here.
Another link as well, Annabel. I think you're going to be linking to your website for the rest of the day.
Definitely.
What would you never wear?
What would I never wear? Well, now I would never wear a mini skirt or anything like that. Though I would wear shorts, funnily enough. And you know, I'm obviously not going to wear crop tops or things like that, you know. I get a lot of tips from my daughters. I've got 2 daughters, 2 sons, for my daughters, but, you know, I can't wear what they wear, obviously. But I do like to try and keep my look, I don't want to say young, because it's not like I don't want to get older. It doesn't bother me at all. But I do want to. I tell you what, I would never wear. It would be colour. I would never wear now brown, because I had my colours done by House of Colour and Kettlewell Colours. Melissa from Kettlewell Colours has become a very good friend, and she has got me wearing lots of colours. Like, you see, well, this scarf is from you, Pomodoro. It's lovely. I love it. And look at all those colours, lilacs. So now my wardrobe, if you have my wardrobe now compared to, say, 10 years ago, there's very little black. There's no brown. She was horrified that I wore brown. Horrified. And I loved brown. But anyway, so yeah, I wouldn't wear those dark. Of course, you can wear black. I would wear black trousers and things like that. But up near my face now, I think I've learned that colour does it for me.
Yeah, and you see, I think also it's about your personality as well, because I know I should wear colour, but I can't. I can in the summer. In the winter, I just move into black and put more makeup on.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah, no, but you've got a very stylish haircut. It's like you're like Helen Mirren, you know what I mean? Cropped hair. And
we did it. Don and I cut it.
Oh,
I've done the front and she did the back.
Well, there you are. You see, why do we need hairdressers?
Like, really not.
I used to have short hair before the pandemic, so there you are. Look at me now. But I think it depends on what makes you feel happy.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's all about giving you confidence, and I think as long as you understand the rules,
yeah,
if you have the confidence to break them, you still look fabulous. Yes. I don't think you should be cowtailed by them, and you're not, because you do break the rules.
Yeah, I do. I mean, you'll see on my website there are pictures of me in dark grey and black things and the evening wear and stuff like that. So I do break them, but I'm not as on a regular. You know what I mean? A colour obviously suits me more.
Yes,
that's the thing. Yeah.
Who is your favourite artist?
Oh, well, that is difficult. Funnily enough, because a friend of mine has just got heavily involved selling Banksy, I sort of decided, because I had a conversation which I really was way out of my depth, and because I didn't know enough about Banksy or things, so I went and sort of I had the time to Google research and all the rest of it. It's the only good thing about lockdown, you've got that time to do all that. And I really got very interested in the whole story behind Banksy, and I really appreciated. But I guess, going back to the colour thing, I've always I could stand in front of a Monet painting for hours. And I guess it's probably now realizing that actually it's just the colors, isn't it? Again, that have just drawn me to that. Yeah. So
that room in the Met in New York where his lilies are, the water lilies are. I mean, you could just never leave, couldn't you?
Exactly. Yeah. So that
fabulous
peace and calm, tranquility.
Yeah. Yes. What is the oldest item of clothing in your wardrobe?
Okay, so this is which defies everything really, because it is a mini, and I said I wouldn't ever wear mini, but I only keep it because of sentimental reasons. It's a mini dress from David and Elizabeth Emanuel, which is all sequins, all stretchy. That was worn by Patsy Kensit in the film, I think it was called Absolutely Fabulous, not Joanna Lumley, and I think it was called something like Absolutely Fabulous. I can't remember, but anyway, I just loved the dress, and she gave it to me at the end of filming. So that is because I was in my 20s then, and I'm now 62, so it's never going to get worn, but I've kept it because it's just a happy memory. Yes.
If it were me, I could wear it on a finger. I'm slightly bigger than I was in my 20s.
I think we all are, so yeah, absolutely. But it's nice to look at and say, I once could wear that, yes.
Annabel, we are getting lots of questions, but I'm going to ask you to go back afterwards because we're also running out of time because I want to put this on Instagram.
Right.
And we have to keep it under an hour. So would you mind going back and answering the questions afterwards?
So I just go onto your Facebook page and
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you just do that, then everybody, the answers will be questioned. But I'm sure, ladies, you want me to carry on interviewing Annabel. Who is the most famous person you've ever met? I know you've met lots because your husband was in the music industry, wasn't he?
Well, the Princess of Wales, obviously. That's definitely the most famous, without a shadow of doubt. But I've met lots of people in the music industry, like Eric Clapton, Elton John, people like that. Freddie Mercury, loved Freddie Mercury. And, you know, when I worked for the Emanuels, I met all sorts of people like Jane Seymour, Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh my God!
Yes, I met her. I had scrambled eggs cooked by Elizabeth Taylor. There you are. That's because she came to Paris and had a fitting for a dress. And then I had to take the dress to her in Los Angeles. And by the time I landed with this dress, went to her house, it was late in the evening. Well, it was dark anyway. And to deliver this dress, and one of her staff answered the door and was fairly unfriendly. You know, you always find people around them are sort of very protective. Sort of took the dress and I said, oh, well, can I just wait? Can you just take it to Miss Taylor and then just tell me that she's happy? Because, you know, I don't want to have to come back here. And the next thing I knew, they said, all right, well, we'll just wait here. And the next thing I knew is she appeared. And she said to me, have you just flown in? And I went, yes. And she said, well, you know, have you had anything to eat? And I said, no. And she said, well, you know, can I make you something? And I was like, I didn't know what to say. And she said, what would you like? I mean, what do you say? What would you like me to cook? Oh, you know, piece of toast and Marmite? No, so I went, I don't know. And I went, well, I suppose it's morning time in England now, so maybe scrambled eggs. And I just got my brain freeze, okay? And so she said, fine, I'll make, and she made it for me. And I would put her and Princess of Wales on a par. There was something, they both had the most incredible eyes that were just mesmerizing. Elizabeth Taylor, you've probably heard, had, everyone say, violet colored eyes, which didn't you couldn't really see that in films and pictures, but she really did have violet colored eyes, unbelievable. And the Princess of Wales, she'd enter a room and she'd just light up a room. It's something very special about those two. But, you know, celebrities in the whole, they're just like you and I, really, with a lot of money. That's, you know what I mean? They're not that riveting. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Without mentioning names, but many of the music people that I've met are not, you know, I'd rather spend an evening with my girlfriends or you know, my friends than most of them. But it's nice to meet them, yeah.
But they're decidedly underwhelming.
Yeah, except for the two that I've just mentioned, who were totally overwhelming, and I had brain freeze probably in both occasions.
And have you written these stories in the magazine? Are we looking for another link?
No, I haven't really. I don't really, I mean, you know, I think Elizabeth, David and I, and all of the people that work for Elizabeth and David were, you know, never really would reveal stories. You know, it's just not our thing. But I know I haven't. No, I haven't really. Funny enough, the Elizabeth Taylor one, I only sort of remembered, you know, like you do suddenly. It just, something came up, I don't know, about Elizabeth Taylor, and I just suddenly thought about it again.
So it's not about to become Hello for Old Girls then?
No, I don't think so. No, I couldn't go there, no.
So, where are we? What is your favourite item of Artichoke clothing?
Well, I'm wearing at the moment, you can't really see it, a lovely, well, it's a sort of denim look, but it's actually made out of tencel, isn't it? Jacket. I can't really show it to you, but it's there's a picture of it this week of me wearing it. And I have, since you sent it to me, I've hardly taken it off. I mean, honestly, because at the moment I'm wearing it over a sweater with your lovely scarf, but I would wear it over a t-shirt. I'd travel with it. I'd, you know, it's just really, really useful. I've also got your jeans. Now I can't remember the name.
They're the magic stretch. You've got the 7/8.
Yeah, I've got the white ones, and I'm normally not a great white jean wearer because I always think that, you know, whereas black is flattering, white does exactly the opposite. It's sort of shade. But those jeans, amazing. They just are sculpting, and I don't know, they're just incredible. Love those. So yeah, I love your you always do some really lovely blouses. I actually hate that word, blouses, but shirts, you know, and they're always, you've got lots of colourful ones, and I love the fact that you do sort of longer length ones and things like that, because we do need that a bit, don't we, sometimes?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Tucking in is something that leaves one's wardrobe at a certain age, doesn't it? Because all that you do tucking in is you add bulk to an area that you don't want to add bulk to. So I think
strange enough, as I've got older, I have tucked in, but I cover up my tucking in because
yes.
instead I've got long legs. I actually have short legs.
Do you?
Yeah, because I tuck in, I elongate them.
Okay, you see, that's why I have to keep watching your videos with your tips on, but you do, but I mean, you've got very skinny legs, haven't you?
I've got very skinny legs, and I've actually done videos where I've untucked, and all of a sudden you realise that I do have my legs are only 29 inches long. I'm 5'7". I have short legs.
Yeah, but still probably longer than the average, probably, you know.
Yeah, but not for my height, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, you're like me, long back and shorter legs. Yeah. Out of proportion, yeah.
So yeah, so I do tuck in, but I wouldn't dream of leaving myself tucked in, and then you'd be able to see my midriff.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and come the summer, you can't layer because it's too hot. So yeah, I love the shaped, you know, wear the blouses that have a shaped, you know, front.
Yeah, and just go over your tummy. Vintage or new?
Well, I have a son, my youngest son. He has just, been going now for about 8 months, a website called Isuko. Give my son a plug. And it is where he has vintage clothing, secondhand clothing. And of course, that generation are all into, you know, not buying new. And so he has really changed my attitude. I mean, you know, he kills us if one of those, I won't mention names, but certain high street online stores, you know, if a package from them arrives for one of my daughters or whatever, he gets very cross. So it's not sustainable, it's not, you know, environmentally friendly and all the rest of it. So when his first start, because he went to Italy and bought a load of stock from these warehouses, which was all vintage clothing. And because the Italians, they keep their clothes so much better. So he brought back like beautiful Givenchy black, again, black, you see, but it's an evening coat. And it was just, and it sort of opened my eyes to the fact that there is so much vintage out there that you can, if you're careful and clever and are prepared to put the time in to find it, you'll find, and all these second-hand websites are doing very well, aren't they? But you, it's my problem. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't know, there's something wonderful about when you buy something online and you get that double gratification, don't you? Because you get that the moment you press, you know, buy online, and then when it arrives, the parcel arrives, and you know, and come on, in lockdown there hasn't been much to cheer us up, but getting a parcel from somebody like Artichoke, you know, it's just, I don't know, it does give you a bit of a buzz, doesn't it? Yeah.
And also you can do vintage in your own wardrobe. You know, obviously we're a clothes shop. We want to flog clothes, but we're always saying to our ladies, shop in your own wardrobe first. Do not buy stuff unless you love it, because if you love it, you will look after it. If it doesn't fit properly, you will get it tailored and it will stay in your wardrobe for years.
But the problem is you tend to buy, you tend to go out and buy things that you actually already have, that because you know it's like sort of, I mean, you know, ask Grace about how many navy jumpers she has. She loves navy. You see what I mean? And you know, I'm the same. I love jeans, and I have too many pairs of jeans. Why on earth do I keep buying jeans? But I think that it is shopping your own wardrobe. Yeah, it's a good time, isn't it, to take outfits out. I mean, somebody taught me once, this is quite a good tip, is if you've worn something, like, let's say I get undressed tonight, take this off and the scarf off and everything, and I've worn it at the moment, I can't show you, but I've worn it with some cropped straight leg jeans and so on. Take that outfit and create another outfit with it, put it on a hanger, so that this is hanging with something else, something completely different. And you know, maybe it's I'd wear this over a dress, so hang it so that when you next take it out, you've already created the outfit. Otherwise, what you tend to do, or what I tend to do, and I'm sure other people do the same, is you tend to wear the same. You take it out of the wardrobe and you think, oh yeah, I wear that with, and then you get the same pair of trousers or whatever, and you don't sort of think, you know, whereas I put this the other day, I just tried it over a dress, which was quite a loose dress, and because I don't have any waist, but I got a sort of a tan belt, thick belt, and waisted the dress, and then put this over the top. So even if you took this off, I'd still be pretty straight down, but in actual fact, it looked like I'd created a waist, and you know, that sort of thing. You know, try things out. You've got the time now, haven't you, when we're in lockdown, just to try. And look, you might create a whole new look and then think, oh, you know, I got Grace, she hates dresses. I got her into dresses once at a store, and she really, it sort of awoke that part of her. She really liked it, you know, and then she went and bought a lovely long flowing sort of summery dress that was had a dress that actually had its own Instagram account in the end, not hers, but the brand. So, you know, because it was so popular. But yeah, so that's what I think. So,
and we're always laying down that challenge actually to our ladies, is, you know, just grab a pair of jeans, wear them 10 ways. And that's actually the essence of a lot of the videos that we do, is that they might seem quite repetitive because we're using the same garments, but what we're trying to do is get you to wear the things you love as often as you can, because sustainability is not just about where you source it from. You can't think, oh, well, if I don't like it, I'll send it to a charity shop. Really, charity shops shouldn't exist, because we shouldn't be chucking stuff out. You know, you can think about your planet just by wearing the stuff you have.
Yeah. Or you know, really, if you don't wear it anymore, sell it on one of these, you know, secondhand. I've sold quite a few things on one called Manifesto Woman, and really good. Again, they're based somewhere up near you too. So yeah, it's all going on in Norfolk, isn't it?
I feel another link coming below, Annabel.
Yeah, it's a really good page, because it's not like the designer stuff, which, as I said before, I don't.
I know where. I think it's in Fakenham. I think the lady's in Fakenham. Yes. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Manifesto Woman. So there you are.
Right, so we've got about another 10 minutes. So before we go much further, and I think we've only done about 15, so we might have to have a chat in a couple of months' time.
Okay, yes.
I must say, ladies, that we are giving Annabel and Grace readers a special offer at the moment. So if they buy from Artichoke during February, they will get one of our fabulous floral scarves free of charge. Now, obviously, that's a bit unfair on you. So what Annabel and I have decided is, if you buy something from Artichoke this month and you would like one of these free scarves to come with your parcel, you have to sign up to the Annabel and Grace magazine. Now, we can't work out how to do a coupon for this, and actually, deep joy, the coupon I've given to your ladies isn't working, so we're gonna have to ring them all tomorrow to double check they are from you. Basically, if you're an Artichoke girl, you want one of these free scarves, you need to sign up to the Annabel and Grace website and then put a comment when you order from us, and then we will make sure you have signed up and you'll get the free scarf.
It's the newsletter. Sign up to
the newsletter. Sorry, the newsletter.
In the top right-hand corner of our website, there's a box.
And we'll put a link everywhere for you to sign up to this newsletter. And obviously, this is just a mini bribe because it is a fabulous newsletter. And I'm sure you'll get a lot from it. But what we didn't want was to create an unlevel playing field where all the Annabel and Grace ladies are getting a free scarf and you're not. So sign up to the newsletter, and we have got a few more minutes to ask Annabel a few more questions. What is the first thing that you notice about someone when you first meet them?
Oh, well, right now, because they're probably wearing a mask, it's the eyes. I'm a big person, you know, on eyes. I think they say so much about a person. But I don't think, you know, as you get older, what people look like is really doesn't actually sort of have much relevance. It's more of what they can offer, their warmth, but their warmth, their generosity, their kindness and all of that. And I think you can tell a lot from a person's eyes, can't you? Whether they're a cold or a warm person, inviting person. You know, I mentioned before the Princess of Wales and Elizabeth Taylor, they had these incredible eyes. The Princess of Wales particularly, they were sort of like a pool that you felt you could dive into. They were very, they were sort of listening eyes, if you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, you felt that you were being heard. And I think eyes are very, very important. Having said that, I just think, personally, if we weren't all wearing masks, I mean, the thing I hate about masks is you can't see people smiling. I just love to see people smile. And you know, I'm a big smiler myself. And so I just think that the more we smile at people, the more, you know, just, you know, we've been through a horrendous year. The whole world's been through a horrendous year, and we've still got a way to go. And I just find that the mask thing is sort of that, you know, you want to go out and when you're walking around a supermarket, just smile at somebody when you think they look a bit down, but we're not going to get that for a while, as I understand it, you know. So there you are. So it'll have to be, you have to smile with your eyes, girls. That's what I think.
And actually smiling, as my lovely friend Tracy told me, who had a very bad experience with Botox and fillers after her first attempt, so has never bothered since. She said, just smile, because then you can't see the wrinkles. Yeah, exactly. You think they're caused by your grin.
Yes, exactly.
So there you are. Botox is a complete waste of money. Just grin.
Yes.
What are you reading at the moment?
I've just finished a book called Away with the Penguins, which I absolutely adored, by Hazel Bryer, which I reviewed on a website. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a deep, meaningful, it was a story, it was funny, it just, oh, it was uplifting and warming. I'm reading now one called All the Birds of Uganda, and it's I'm really enjoying it. It's all about set in modern times and also in the 1960s. It's about a Muslim family who went to live in Uganda and then they actually they weren't British citizens, they weren't Ugandan citizens, they'd lost their Indian citizenship, and they sort of ended up, you know, not wanted anywhere. And the difficulties, and then this generations down, a young Muslim young man working in the city, and it deals with racism and yeah, and all those things. It really a good story with a great sort of moral underlying story with it. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. And I've just it's taken me a while, but I've nearly finished listening to Barack Obama's book on Audible. Listening, that's why I was saying it. So I tend to listen to a book, and which I'll take in the car or on a walk or whatever, and then I'll also be reading a book. And I often read two books at the same time. If one's a bit sort of hard work, I often have then a light one going at the same time. I think there's room in our worlds for all types of books. Do you know what I mean? I don't think people need to be shy of saying, oh, well, that, you know, I just said Away with the Penguins is a light read, but I think light reads are very necessary. And I think at the moment, even more so, all of my friends say they find it hard to concentrate in lockdown. It's one of the things they've really struggled with.
Yeah.
I don't know why, just too much going on in their head, and not relaxed enough. I don't know. So yeah, so there you are, two books. Anyway, look on our book review. So the Page Turner's just done one for this week, which is I can't remember its title, but it's the #1 crime story, and she absolutely loved it. So the review will be going up next week. So have a look there.
So I've still got loads of questions to ask you, but we're really running out of time. If we don't disappear soon, we're not going to be able to get this on Instagram. We're limited by social media. How can our lives be dominated by Instagram?
I know.
But I'm just going to say a very, very quick thank you, Annabel, and hopefully you will come back in a couple of months' time and answer the other 15 questions.
Okay, all right.
Everybody's loved seeing you today.
Oh,
so thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to push my button now, which means that everybody will disappear.
Okay.
I hope you have a fabulous week. And we are going to be back. We're not sure what we're doing this week, whether we're going to do a styling program or we're going to be back on Sunday. We just are taking one day at a time, but very soon we will make a decision and let you know, ladies. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining Annabel. Sign up to Annabel and Grace. Thank you so much, Annabel. It's lovely to see you again. And thank you for everything you do to support Artichoke. You are superstars, you two.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. I'm going to push the button now, so keep grinning inanely till I disappear.